Well, Oklahoma is already home to many STEM jobs, from oil and gas to agriculture and manufacturing. Science, technology, engineering, and math play a key role in each industry, and aerospace is certainly no exception. I sat down with Susan Lavrakas, the Director of Workforce at the Aerospace Industries Association, to talk about STEM and the role it plays in the industry. Well, Susan, how important is STEM education to the aerospace industry?
It's absolutely vital. Our leaders, our industry leaders, our CEOs tell us that a qualified workforce is the most critical factor to our industry success. And obviously, being a very high technology industry, we must have people who are the best and the brightest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So I would say there's nothing more important than a highly qualified STEM workforce to our future.
Talk to me about the gap between STEM knowledge and STEM skills and the availability of workers that are available right now.
Well, it's multifaceted. First of all, we're finding that not enough American students are studying STEM subjects, so they're not enough getting degrees in those fields. There's a problem of persistence. There are a lot of young people go into college thinking they're going to study a STEM discipline, but they either graduate with a degree and go into another line of work, or they find it's difficult and their interests go in another direction. So we're doing a lot of work to try to help students be successful in the topics that they originally expressed interest. So if they're going into engineering school, we're trying to help them be successful, not lowering standards, but providing mentorships and other supports to help them pursue those dreams and to enter our industry. There's also a shortage of people with technical skills, so manufacturing skills. You know, the 21st century manufacturing line is not your father's production line. It's an entirely different thing, and many people aren't aware of that, that if you go into manufacturing today in aerospace, you need skills to deal with robotics and advanced manufacturing, 3D printing, and so forth. So a real facility with STEM is absolutely vital, and not enough people are attracted to that. They don't know the opportunities. They don't know the great pay that is available, and that's where it is incumbent upon our industry, our member companies, to communicate with students, parents, teachers, and the education community about what we have to offer and what they need to do in order to be prepared to join our workforce.
Well, we definitely see a large group of foreign exchange students coming over to take part in our STEM education, but you mentioned that it's important to have U.S. Students engaged in STEM and engaged in that type of workforce. Why is that so important?
Well, our industry is unique in that regard. Aerospace and defense, in many instances, has jobs that require American students. They have to qualify for security clearances. So we can't ship our best jobs overseas. We can't fill them with foreign nationals who live in the United States. We must have homegrown American talent, which is why the leaders in our industry have been so committed to this issue for a number of years. We recognize that we must address this problem ourselves in order to stay in business, and also for the good of the country.
Talk to me about the potential employee cliff dive that we could be seeing as the baby boomers begin to retire.
Our industry started recognizing about 8 years ago that with the baby boomers retiring, we were going to be falling off a cliff. I mean, that's the best analogy. We were just going to go into a deep dive in terms of losing our best and brightest. People who studied STEM back in the Sputnik era and thrived and really loved our industry, aviation and space. And unfortunately, they've now reached an age, like myself, where they're eligible to retire. And we thought we would have been experiencing a real drop-off in our industry as much as 5 years ago. So that's when we stood up this big effort to work together within our industry and with all other stakeholders. The fact of the matter is that the economic downturn of 2008 caused a lot of people to stay on the job. It just made good sense. It was more responsibility. The value of their homes and their other assets had dropped. So to be prudent, they've stayed in the workforce. But we're frankly seeing that is now going to change. I should mention that of our eligibles, it's an average of about 1.4% that have been actually retiring in the last few years. So you can see there's a huge pent-up opportunity here that's going to start hitting us, we think, this year, certainly next year. So it's going to open up a lot of positions for young people to enter our industry. There's going to be great potential for new opportunities to lead, to grow in this industry, and that's a story that we're trying to make more people aware of.
All right, well, Susan, thank you so much for your insights.
My pleasure.